Hello, everybody. I'm today going to be talking about political participation. I'm not going to be talking about all of it. I'm just talking about a short little element of it. Most certainly, your readings in the module cover most. But there is a low participation in America, and I want to talk about the low participation relative to voting. Now, I'm most certainly in support of all the protests that are going on at this time. I feel that is an expression of freedom of speech, but it's also something that energizes people and brings them into the political system. And that is very, very helpful. But America has a very low rate of voting, much lower than most countries. And there's a wide variety for this reason. Some of it is historical. We've made it hard for people to vote. Right now in the southern states, they are closing voting precincts, particularly in areas which are heavily populated by people of color. Most certainly, the ID cards that have been talked about to prevent fraud, well, it's trying to prevent something that doesn't occur, is really an attempt to try to make voting more difficult. Even registration for voting is something that's kind of unique to America. In most countries, if you're a citizen, you're automatically registered. And in fact, in some countries, if you don't vote, you can actually be fined. I think Americans have a hard time with that. But a lot of people think it's just not worth it. Social scientists, particularly economists, they were called social choice theorists, in the 1970s and 60s to some degree, argued that people don't vote because it just isn't worth it. I mean, what's the chance that you're going to affect the election? If you do affect the election, what's the probability that, it's really going to make a difference to your life? And there's so many ways that we vote in America. We vote on initiatives, we vote on senators, we vote on governors, city council. Most of us don't even know the names of those who represent us, either in county boards of supervisors or city councils. And people say, well, it just isn't worth it. It's the idea that somehow we don't vote because there isn't a payoff. The problem with this is that it allows other forms of political participation, not by voters, but by major corporations and others, to gain even more influence. The problem with not voting is politicians will take you less seriously. No, I understand that most of the time, your vote won't be the deciding vote. There has been a few times that is the case, even recently. But most of the time, it won't be. And even in a state in California, which is so heavily one party, Democratic Party, people wonder, does it make sense because the Democrats are going to win anyway? But what you're doing by voting is you're expressing the fact that you are an American citizen and you have the right to throw the bums out. Let me assure you, there are some bums that need to be thrown out. So I want to encourage you to think about that. Those people who are older, such as I am, higher in economic class, have more education, generally are white or a couple of other relatively small ethnic groups, vote very regularly. And as my students don't necessarily look like me in terms of age, education, ethnicity. So I'm not sure that you want people like me making decisions for you. So I recommend that you go out and you vote to make decisions on your own. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.